So I just want to take a second and be sure there's nothing I'm in the mood to redraw. Yeah, I don't think there is. I think I'm gonna go with the sky. Maybe just a. So this has got to be a little shorter up here. This is all too. I don't want this to go right in the corner actually, so I'm going to shorten that a little bit. There's a little more dark that comes down in here, and this is that little bit of light. Just want to make sure that this is not exactly the same size as that. This, I think, needs to be a little shorter under here. And then there's going to be these other smaller dark clouds coming across. And let's see, that's that. This comes down, and there's a little dark one here that kind of overlaps this dark, which comes a little further. I guess my windmills are probably too tall. And I said I wasn't going to work on these dang boats after I sprayed it, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so I'm going to start with the sky. I just sprayed it. I'm going to start with the light part of the sky and see if I can just keep bringing that up. I'm going to turn off my phone so it quits ringing at me. And turn my pastels around because I always like to have the blues to the left. Okay, so I'm going to start down here. Oh, remember I said I was going to work from the bottom up, so I'm going to do that. And before I kept thinking, oh, I really need to add some more violet to that sky, but then I got to thinking, oh, maybe violet would be too dark. Maybe what I just really need was blue. And I just now noticed that the cat like messed up all my stuff. And I just put some of that blue back on top of that pink. I'm really hoping now that I've got everything close enough that I can just get this in like 2 colors at the most, so I don't lose that that kind of surfacey thing that I like of the colors showing through. Almost kind of like a little bit of a gritty look, I guess, is what I really like. Okay, so come back with more pink. But this pink I'm probably not going to cover up like I did with that blue. Well, maybe some of it. And then I wonder, does that need yellow too? So I guess, you know, almost anything I wonder, I do, for better or worse. And then I know that little thing seems so bright right there. It's really not, but it looks so bright because it's surrounded by all that dark around it. All right, so I'm gonna try to move on from there. No, you are too light. And you are probably exactly the same color. Pretty sure that's too light too. I just really want to see if I can make these clouds look like they're up underneath there or not. I feel like it's a good goal. It's not going to be accomplished with that color. And that is green. Let's see if I can make that kind of a hard edge in there. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to try it. I don't know if it's a bad idea. Put a little bit of sky coming through here. Right in the middle, dead in the middle. One thing too is that, you know, paintings just, they look darker when you put them under glass. So I just framed something that, man, it just looked a lot darker. And once I framed it, and I think it, you know, I just used plain old glass. I didn't get museum glass for it. For better or worse. Worse, probably. I just was thinking maybe I'd just let the clouds get a little too heavy. But also, maybe I'll come down to the water next, work on the water and the light. I swear I really feel like I don't know what I'm going to do about that. So it's kind of just, let's see what happens. So it seems really green to me. also seems like it's not really doing exactly how I like it to be. Right there it kind of is. So one recommendation I would make is don't ever think you know what stuff looks like. Be sure you keep looking. It's definitely always more to notice. I wonder about making it a little lighter back in here too. Every time I watch these videos, I sit there the whole time and I say, when is she going to notice that thing that she left out, or that thing that she did horribly wrong? When is she going to fix that? And yeah, a lot of times I don't ever fix it, so stuff definitely gets by me. Okay, so it's going to come back to my little white boat again. And I guess I'm going to use some real white here. Just trying to make sure I have my perspective right on these little ripples and stuff, where they're getting closer together as they go further back and they're not as big. So each one is in 1 point perspective. So just trying to make that, not lose track of that. I really wish I hadn't done that right there. But oh, it's that boat. Okay, that boat's still not showing up. Okay, maybe it's a little better. Yes, I did just make them all exactly the same. I just wanted to see then if I could add a little something to each of them that would make them a little different from each other. And I guess I've got to get these boat reflections in. Oh, good night. Yeah, so that boat is actually lighter than the water, so. Since I've never really noticed a boat exactly like this before, I don't know if I should try to make it what it is or if I should just turn it back into your everyday day sailor. And the other night, people had a hard time trying to figure out what the sail cover here was because it was really a different color than the boat. So I'm just gonna do what seemed like the best solution to other people the other night, and that is just make the sail cover the same color as the boat. Let's see if that does it. I don't know if I can put that in there without it looking bad. But I was trying to fix that little mistake I made of letting that get too light right there. And then maybe I can just use that same, come back and lighten up my boat reflection a little maybe and make that better. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause my video for a sec and I'm going to check out the original photo with the actual mast on the boat. Okay, so I went back to my original picture of the boats where I had not put the masts in with Photoshop to see what they look like, and it looks to me like the masts on the Beetle Cats are actually actually wooden. But I'm going to start with the sort of day sailor kind of thing first, and the mast starts back a little bit from the front of that cabin, so maybe right about there. And the reason I turned it upside down is much easier to start at the boat and draw a straight line down than it is to start up in the sky and draw down and get to the boat in the right place. So this way, by doing it upside down, I can start in the right place in the boat. And I'm going to use a charcoal pencil. And my preferred tool for this would be actually a triangle, but I can't find my triangles. So I'm going to use this clear ruler And I'm going to try to line it up with this top edge of my paper, which is, I know is straight because I did not cut it. And then I'm just going to kind of bring it up to that line. And it comes up maybe to about here. So something like that. And then I'm going to use my white charcoal pencil to do the other side of it, the light side of it. So I'm just going to put that ruler right back on the line. Oh shoot. Yeah, so something like that. I think I went too far, didn't I? Well, hopefully I can get rid of that. God, don't you hate that? I'm going to use the charcoal pencil to do the little boats too. I think, let me just look at my other photograph for a sec. Yeah, maybe that boat. Well, you know what I should do? I should measure and I'm just going to do it right. I'm going to use my pencil to just check the height of the boat compared to the height of the mast. So for the blue boat, it's 1 and maybe 2/3. So the length of the boat, the mast is 1 2/3. 1. Okay, so it does need to be a little longer. I'm going to actually check. Why not? It's like a tool. Why not use it? Okay, so it's about 2. So it should be 2 inches long, and then, oh God, higher math. I'm just going to go for another half. So I did have it is longer. And you know, really, I should do some more research. I just haven't yet. And I sharpen my charcoal pencils with a razor blade, I use a box cutting knife. Okay, and then for the little, there is the, I guess it's the jib, the roller. So it does not come all the way to the end of the sail, of the mast. I mean, it attaches somewhere here. So something like that. I kind of got it. Kind of goes off the edge of the boat there, but I can just add a tiny bit more boat. And it also is that same color as the sail cover. Anyway, I'm going to do that stuff. Maybe, I don't know. I'll just try. What's the worst that can happen? Okay, so something like that. I keep wondering, what the heck is that thing? But I'm afraid to work on it upside down. Who knows what I'll do if I do it upside down. Okay, so then here's a nice little sharp item. And let me just see how those beetle cats. So their sail is about 1 and just a tiny bit more. So, I mean, their mast is just 1 high. So maybe, I'm so confused, upside down. Well, can't stand it. Okay. So their masts are really close to the edge of the front of the boat. You know, I really did not mean that mast to run into that boat. I do not know what happened here, why that happened. Okay, so the funny thing about the white boat is it's the only one that's not, it's not into the wind. And I don't know how it's doing that. So its mast is at this end. And I really didn't mean for that to just barely hit there either, but so that, I don't want that to end up there. Okay, so I'm just going to turn it, well, oh, and the beetle cats, they don't have they have a line that goes from the mast back. And I'm going to use my white, charcoal pencil for that. Okay, all right, good. So I'm just going to turn it back over. Kind of proud of me for being so careful for a change instead of just being like, I can draw a line. All right, so that's okay. Okay, so then I'm just going to do a tiny bit more work on those masks. I mean, on the booms. Because they end at the mast, not some other thing. They end right at the mast. So they can't be sticking out there. I don't know what to say about that. That's a mistake. I don't know if I let that boat get too big. I don't know what I did, but that was not supposed to happen. So I've still been thinking a lot about, like, what am I really trying to do here? What am I trying to do? It's like, yes, like, come on, just put some color there, right? I'm gonna try to cut that boat just back a tiny bit, even though it's probably make it terrible. But so I decided, well, you know, the answer is in the name. I consider myself an impressionist, so I'm trying to get an impression of what I see. I'm not trying to get every little last detail. I'm trying to get, like, there's something, every time there's something that makes you want to paint a scene. And I just want to try to remember what that something is, and then when I get that feeling, then I'm done with it. I was even wondering, when I was out on the beach this weekend, I was kind of wondering, what would it be like to just paint without my glasses on? I mean, could I even find my easel in that darkness of no glasses? I don't know. But would, like, that be the answer to not doing too much detail? So anyway, I think I'm going to try it. Probably not near a busy road or anything, but, or maybe when Jim can be there to keep me from falling off a cliff. Oh, dang, I was going to put the mask in the water before I quit. But that's okay, I can do it now because I get to draw down. And I'm going to use, so part of what color I'm choosing to use is what I can find that has a nice, yeah, don't you love the way I just put the mask right through the boats? That was really gross. A color that has a nice little edge I can actually use to draw the mast. And because it's a reflection, it's a little bit darker. And I'm just putting them down really straight, but then I'm going to mess them up a little. Okay. I try to always take my charcoal pencils with me now after making the terrible mistake of not having anything to sign a painting with and telling the person, oh, well, I can't really sign it right now, so we'll have to meet up. Anyway, needless to say, you gotta sell them when they're ready to buy. I could use this charcoal pencil too a little bit over here on my fence, on my, oh gosh, this is supposed to be right in the water. Well, you know what, that's not happening. Maybe, I don't know why it doesn't look like it's in the water, so. And also I think if you can, a little realism kind of turns everything into realism. Oh my gosh, and I've got those guys too. Oh my God, they're all talking about poop up there. Just in case you can hear them. Okay, you know the only thing worse than drawing with a black pastel? Drawing with a charcoal pencil. All right, see what I can do about that. So like I thought the top of that was so light, but it's not really. And the only way I could figure that out was I had to squint at it and see how it looked compared to the sky, because it's not, in fact, very light. And there's another one of these weird things over here. you know, I never worked on the greens again either, and just keep thinking they just cannot be left that dark. What the heck is that? No, and now these two masks are exactly the same height. I'm gonna make that one a little taller. I'm gonna make this green a little taller. Oh, good night. I gotta do something about that hideous color in the water that I don't know where that came from. Hope I feel your pain on picking out your favorite painting from the year. Like if I think about my favorite, I don't know, I looked at a bunch of my demonstrations and be a little hard pressed to find one that I thought was good enough to be my favorite also. Okay. Yeah. I guess I kind of think that's that.